Tell us more about Jenny about the more the thoracic part of the spine and how people are more as they get older they become hunched forward, and is that reversible, or some people think they just accepted it because just age, or
Yeah.
is that something people can change?
Yeah. So generally, it's something that you can improve,
Yeah.
depending on kind of how old the person is and their activity level.
Yeah.
So looking at the spine, so the thoracic region is you've got 7 cervical vertebrae, and then the next 12 are all the thoracic area. So with that rounded posture, shoulders kind of go forward. We call that kyphosis.
This is the front, right?
Yes, this is the front of the spine. So you've got, yep,
This is the
more,
head.
yep, so more of a curve there. Typically, people don't necessarily have pain in the thoracic spine, even if they've got that significant kyphosis.
Yeah.
But what it does cause is you get more of a lordosis, or extension of the neck.
The neck, yeah.
Yep, because if you didn't and you were just rounded, you'd be like this, but
Yeah.
you get that to keep those eyes up.
Yeah.
So you start seeing some neck problems. But the real problem is for people who are active doing stuff at home, if you've
Yeah.
got that rounded posture,
Yeah.
you can't really lift your arm up because it changes the position
Yes.
of the
So
scapula
the arm is
and the
here
shoulder.
rather than up here.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we can work on some kind of thoracic mobilization, get some movement back through the thoracic spine, work on strengthening all the muscles to keep those shoulder blades back, open up the front of the chest, stretch the pecs out, and we can get some improvement in posture. A lot of times people will ask about those straps now.
Yeah,
Like
they
the
sell those
figure eight straps. It's not going to hurt anything.
Yeah.
It's going to be a cue to kind of keep those shoulders back once
Yeah.
you fall into that kind of relaxed position. But it's not going to be an instant corrector. It's not going
Yeah.
to hold you there.
Yeah.
You're going to have to
It's like
work
a
on,
crutch,
yes.
basically.
Yeah. You're going to have to work on the strengthening and posture
Yeah.
piece of it.
Does the head gets heavier as your neck goes forward?
Yeah, so the more rounded your upper back is, the more you're going to have to use the muscles on the back of the neck to keep that head
Yeah.
supported.
What about those, the cyclists?
Yes.
You've worked with a lot of triathletes, so they're here.
Uh-huh.
They're here.
Yeah.
So they're in a hyperextended position. So do they have any issues with that?
Sometimes they do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we actually, to maintain that kind of arrow position,
Yeah.
we'll work a lot on thoracic mobility.
I see.
So you're able to kind of just
better
fall into
position.
that position in a relaxed state, rather than not constant, like trying to hold it, trying to hold that neck up. Yeah. So if we can keep some mobility through the thoracic spine,
Yeah.
it helps a lot.
Does the length of the, what do you call that, the handles
Yeah.
affects too? Should
It
be
can. Yeah.
wider or narrow? Too narrow, depending on the shoulder.
Yep, it depends on any shoulder history.
Yeah.
Narrow is a little bit more aggressive on the shoulders. You've got to have a little bit more kind of stability and motion
Yeah.
through there. But you don't want it too wide either. So
I see.
bike fit's pretty complicated.
I know, right? Even those tri-bikes, they're like this.
Yes. Yeah.
They're aerodynamic, but it
Yeah.
impacts their
Yep.
spine a lot. So. yeah.
Yep. You've got to train your body to be able to
be in that
even
position.
maintain that position. Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm having some neck sometimes strain, just
Yeah.
That's why I had a bike crash one day, because
Oh, yeah.
I got tired, so I just went down. Then the sun is in my face.
Yeah.
Then I hit a huge sign.
Oh no.
Yeah. So the EMT has to pull me out of the pavement.
Oh no.
So okay. And also with rotation, does it restrict rotation when you're kyphotic?
Yes.
Kyphotic meaning this, right?
Yep. So you're gonna, when you're kind of rounded forward, you're gonna change the way that all those joint surfaces interact with each other, and it's definitely going to limit rotation. And I see a lot of the Pilates stuff that you do with your clients, and a lot of the kind of thoracic rotation stuff. I don't think people realize how important that is just for everyday life. Driving, you have
to turn your head.
Yep. You can't get all that rotation from your neck. You've got to have some of it in the trunk too. So thoracic mobility, rotation, movement is important for everyone, not just athletes.
Awesome. Okay. How about this neck area? A lot of people. What about people who have those? How they fuse the neck, or they put a cage because of maybe a car crash or sports injury. So what's the what will it? What's the downside of having a fused neck? Like. In your experience.
So generally, neck symptoms, people are very sensitive. So with therapy, we've got to be really slow to introduce new things, and a little bit slower with treatment sometimes. So if they've had surgery, or if over time some of those segments have fused, what happens anywhere in the spine? If you've got segments that fuse, the segments above and below it try to make up for kind of that movement. So what you end up doing is stressing or overworking or wearing out the segments above and below. So you've really got to make sure, if parts of your cervical spine or neck are fused, you definitely need the motion in the thoracic spine to help with some of that.
So the more you need this mobility, rather than just relying on
if you've got any restriction in the cervical spine, working on thoracic mobility is one of the best ways, or only ways, to get some of that movement back.
So they're not just relying on this. So they can also turn. When they get their bag from the back seat.
And then with the cervical spine, you've still got those nerves that come out every level, just like all the way down the spine. And that's going to affect arm pain, numbness, tingling, weakness too.
Will that go back, like the weakness?
It depends. So if you can address the nerve that's being kind of impinged on or irritated, some of it can be reversible. If it's been going on for a long time, or it's not something that they can fix surgically, if it was traumatic, it may not come back with if it's nerve related.
Does the nerve grow back?
It can very slowly. I think it's like 1 millimeter a day. So that can take quite a bit of time.
Not enough lifetime to grow it back. Wow. Awesome. Thank you, Jenny, for explaining that. And so the more we need Pilates.
Yes, exactly.
And thoracic mobility to gain, healthy neck and upper thoracic, especially golfers, right?
Oh yeah.
So what were your common experience with golfers issue?
So golfers, generally I see them for low back pain or shoulder pain. And it's all related to lack of rotation in their swing. So if they don't have enough trunk rotation for the backswing or the follow through, they're gonna try to get it out of their shoulders or out of their low back. So
you have less rotation in your lumbar, right? It's like 12 degrees, or
it's not
as much as this.
Right? So we've got to address some hip rotation too, to take some of the stress off, kind of cranking on the low back there. But with golfers, it's generally working on mobility. It's all rotation
So is it
related.
more the obliques, or is it more this one, or all of the above, pretty much?
Kind of all. Yep. If you don't have good hip, most older men don't have good hip internal rotation in general. So
all like this.
So if you're swinging on your backswing, if you don't have that internal rotation on the right hip or on the left hip on follow through, that rotation has to come from somewhere. It's all going to come from the low back.
So the torque will go somewhere.
Yep.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Like, what are some exercise that they can do to increase like that hip rotation? Can you show me some exercise? I could be the guinea pig.
Yeah.
Maybe on the
Everyone
table.
hates this exercise because everyone is typically very restricted. So it's called the frog stretch.
Oh no. Up there or here?
Probably better here with a pad. Okay, so yep, you want your feet to be even with the knees. You don't want them narrower than the knees. And then you're going to, so you can bring them in a little bit if you need to, and then you're gonna try to sit your butt back. So you're gonna push back. You can hold for a few seconds, and then you're gonna rock forward out of it.
Yep, I can feel that.
You actually have really good flexibility, mobility with that hip internal rotation. Most people, their knees will not be near this wide. But this is one of the best ways to kind of isolate that hip internal rotation, work on that mobility for golfers.
So this is one exercise they can do.
Yes.
How about the obliques for rotation? What are some exercises you recommend?
Yeah, so if you just lay on your back, keep your knees bent, and if you have one of the big gym balls, you can actually prop your feet up on the ball like this and then let them fall side to side.
Do I lift my shoulder or?
Try to keep your shoulder flat.
Okay.
So upper back's flat, and you're trying to get all of that motion isolated to kind of the lumbar into the thoracic spine there. If this is too aggressive, you can actually rest your feet on the floor and then just let your knees fall side to side first. Really trying to keep that opposite shoulder glued down to the floor.
Yeah, I can feel that.
Pulling, yeah. So a lot of people actually like doing this exercise before they even get out of bed in the morning. Just get some motion and mobility through the spine.
Yep, pretty good. That's awesome. Thanks. So those are 2 exercises you could do from home and before you play golf.
Yeah.
Again, thanks again, Jenny,
Yeah, thank
for sharing your knowledge to us. Till next time. Bye.